Mental health is a topic that has only very recently come into the forefront after an incredibly long period of silence. It is often something that people prefer not to address or feel it is not relevant to them and can in turn be a misunderstood subject. The negative stigma and discrimination around mental health can be a driving force in stopping people with mental health disorders seek help. Therefore, it is important that we all contribute to raising awareness of the reality of mental health and its importance in people of all ages and backgrounds. My name is Sabrina and I am a research scientist at Future Genetics. From January 1999 to December 2017, the NHS carried out major surveys of the mental health of children and young people in England and published a report of the findings on the 22nd of November this year. A number of different types of disorders were assessed with rigorous, detailed and consistent methods. Amongst these disorders were emotional disorders, behavioral disorders, hyperactivity disorders, and less common disorders. Overall, the results showed that 1 in 8 of 5 to 19-year-olds have at least one mental health disorder, primarily being emotional disorders, as you can see by this bar chart. This also represents the rise in rates of emotional mental health disorders as age increases. From ages 2 to 10, boys were more likely than girls to have a disorder, with boys aged 5 to 10 being almost twice as likely than girls of the same age to have a mental health disorder. Amongst the 11 to 16-year-olds, girls and boys were equally likely to have a disorder. However, girls between the ages of 17 and 19 were more than twice as likely as boys to have a disorder. Young women compared with any other demographic group, rates of emotional and mental disorders and self-harm were reported to be the highest in young women aged 17 to 19, as presented in the NHS survey. Over half of these girls reported to have self-harmed or had attempted to commit suicide. 5.6% of these girls identified with body dysmorphia and 1.6% had an eating disorder. There are multiple influences that can increase the onset of mental health disorders in children, with one being the functioning of the child's family. In some cases, however, mental health disorders may be the cause of problems within families, which therefore forms a vicious cycle. A child's mental health can also be affected by their parents' mental health, the child's support network, how much they participate in their social surrounding, and adverse life events such as parental separation and/or financial struggles at home. Other factors that can influence a child's mental health is their physical well-being and daily social media use. Children aged 11 to 19 with a mental disorder were 10% more likely to use social media daily compared to children of the same age without a disorder. A growing problem linked to social media is the impact it has on young people's self-esteem, as they're constantly comparing themselves to the perfect picture and consequently thinking less of their own lives. This survey showed that 1 in 4 children with a disorder had no professional or informal support. This support is critical and can prove to be life-saving in some cases. It is important to acknowledge that regardless of what their age is, we should all be thinking about improving and supporting the mental health of children and young people, and raising awareness of this issue. If you need any help or information regarding child mental health, please phone or visit any of the numbers or sites down below. Thank you for listening.